It is time to talk a little Cincinnati Bengals. One of the guys that has gotten a ton of praise from Joe Burrow is Bryan Cook. He's one of the top free agent additions, certainly for the Bengals this offseason, considered the best free agent safety among many. And he came home to Cincinnati to, well, make a major impact. Geno Stone just missed another tackle. We're going to dive into expectations for Bryan Cook coming up in just a second. But first, here's a snippet of what Bryan Cook had to say in the locker room earlier this week.
Oh, yeah. I mean, of course. You know, we a few weeks in, few months in being on the guys. So just the chemistry is building. Definitely happy about that. As far as the camaraderie, I mean, the sky's the limit for us. For the playbook for me, I'm definitely grasping that as well. So, yeah, for sure. I'm definitely getting comfortable for sure.
What are the biggest objectives in OTA practice for you and for the secondary group in general?
Really just building chemistry, becoming more knowledgeable about the playbook, understanding nuances, being able to compete now against the offense. So we have to see things live and make real life corrections as well. So that's the kind of the basis, and then building a foundation, moving into camp and moving to the season. But we all know, good teams start now, not when the season starts. So building those things now is definitely vital for our season.
What do you think is the identity of the secondary this early on?
The identity? That's kind of too early to say. Definitely stingy, though, as far as defensive-wise. Offensive-wise, I mean, like, y'all know what they can do. So we're more just trying to make sure to get them the ball back as much as possible. But defensive-wise, for sure, being stingy across the board, rather it be the run game, pass game, no matter what it is, and then giving our offense the opportunity to go there and score more points.
Can you see or tell anything from Joe Burrow right now? Observation.
Just a real down-to-earth guy. Outside of football, down-to-earth guy. He's very humble for who he is. Definitely a good leader, a great leader, even a better person. So shout out to him. And just all around, just a solid dude, man.
On the field?
On the field, yeah, he's a competitor. You know what I'm saying? Competitor. Obviously different. We had competitions years in. Obviously been in the league and played for a different team. But now seeing it day in and day out, definitely a competitor. And I'm happy to be part of this team, be part of this organization to compete against him, especially with this duration. We have human practices and then we have training camp as well. So, yeah, man, trying to soak up as much energy, information as well. From him and kind of just understand, pick his brain about a few things, and then just pick up on how he feeling certain days. I'm saying at the end of the day, we all leaders, and he's definitely one of our biggest leaders. But at the same time, we got to make sure that he's not perfect. I'm saying he's a human being. So if he come in having a lower day, we got to be able to pick him up. I'm saying that makes a great team. I'm saying you can't just put everything on the leader's shoulder. That's not going to end up well.
He's one of the guys that's been vocal about you and your leadership. Would wearing a C, is that a goal of yours?
I want to win games, bro. Yeah, rather that's not if you me or not. I mean, I'm here to do one thing only. I'm here to win games. I definitely be appreciative for sure, and I'll wear it with a badge of honor. But that's not my main focus, no.
How tough is it to come in and take over a leadership role with a bunch of new faces where you're not integrated yet?
The hardest part is really just learning the guys. Being a leader, is either you got it or you don't. I don't mean that in any arrogant way, but more just like I have my dark nights, I have my situations myself, as far as, having those pick myself up conversations or being real myself too and humbling my own self as well. So being a leader is more about how you walk and how you talk. But learning the guys, that ultimately determines a great leader, because now how can I say certain words to certain guys to get them to react a certain way? And every person is different. So I might say one thing, for instance, to Jordan Battle, that I might say different to Dejan, I might say different to Dax, I might say different to DJ Turner, you know what I'm saying? So learning the guys and learning what triggers them and make them, go, ultimately becomes a great leader. I think that's why Joe Burrow is so great at what he does.
Good stuff there from Bengals safety. Bryan Cook, that entire thing is on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. He talked for like 8 minutes, talking a ton about leadership, obviously, coming to Cincinnati, all of those things. I just want stability on the back end. Like, the bar is so low, Bryan. Like, you've already exceeded it because you haven't missed a tackle during OTAs. But, like, in all seriousness, though, I do think that you can hear the leadership, the presence, all of those things. It shined through just in that 3-minute clip.
It really did. And you say the bar is so low, but I think that's why I have such high expectations for Bryan Cook, because there has not been that stability in the last couple of years in the Bengals safety room. And so I'm expecting him to come in and be that leader, be that, stable force that's been missing. And I love hearing him talk about the leadership aspect and, the camaraderie with the guys, getting to know everyone. That is going to go such a long way. And on top of it, that he's from so many ties to Cincinnati. Just absolutely love it. I think he was a perfect addition for the Bengals to go out and bring into this defense. And I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up with a captain's Sienna's patch.
It would certainly be great, and we've spent so much time talking about the leadership aspect of Cook, and that's obviously a huge addition to this Bengals defense. He's also just a really good safety, and I think that's a great thing to add as well. Bengals fans here in Cincinnati, especially in the Joe Burrow era, know how big having a great safety can be. Jesse Bates was the engine of that defense when they made it to the Super Bowl, made it to an AFC Championship game, and they've been trying to replace him since he left. And it's been a lot of swings and misses in trying to fill that role, and finally went out and got the top guy possible on the market. And Bryan Cook couldn't be more different of a player than Geno Stone, and he's going to make a big difference this year.
Missed tackle percentage last year by Bryan Cook, 4.5. Do you know Geno Stone's number?
12.
What's your guess?
Like 9.5?
Higher.
15.
Higher.
16.
Higher.
18.
Higher.
20.
20.
Wow.
Get him out of here. Oh
Wow.
my God. 20.
20.
I thought even your 12 was hatery.
No, I
that bad.
thought I nailed it. I thought it was 12. And 12 is a lot.
A lot.
He was higher than 12 in 2024 too.
Enjoy Buffalo.
Rough.
Gino, come on. You're setting me up to be mean to Gino. I want to be nice to Bryan Cook.
Mean to Geno?
I'm not mean. I'm honest.
That's fair.
Stop missing tackles, Gino. It's practice right now. He's missing tackles. I have high expectations for Bryan Cook as well. And as much as I've talked about the defensive line being a strength, and we all have, right? It's no secret. With Bryan Cook, my expectation for him is that this secondary is a strength. That we're saying, man, that defensive front plus that secondary, really, really good defense, regardless of the two backers that are question marks right now. Because do we doubt that DJ Turner's awesome? No. Do we think Daxell's awesome? I certainly do. I think a lot of people do in the building as well. And so if you have Dax, DJ, Bryan Cook in the back end, that should be enough for the secondary to be a strength, because I think Jordan is solid. I think whatever they end up doing at nickel corner, it will be solid. Maybe Takario Davis forces his way onto the field and moves Dax inside. Maybe not. Maybe it is Jalen Davis. Maybe it's Jasir Taylor, who had a nice week, a couple batted passes this week in practice. Regardless, I think they'll be solid in that spot. This secondary should be a strength. It shouldn't just be the defensive front and the pass rush. This secondary should be really darn good. And Bryan Cook is the reason why. I think this might be takey. I think he's the best player in that secondary.
Wow.
Ooh.
If he is, then the secondary certainly is a strength.
Yeah.
It would be him or DJ.
For sure.
And I think that there's some untapped there with Bryan Cook that he's starting to, from a leadership standpoint, certainly starting to show. But guess what? If he's a leader from March when he signs to September, he's going to go out there in September, and I would expect him to play the best ball of his career.
Would change a lot for this Bengals defense. And I think with all the additions to the defensive line, that's obviously stolen a lot of the conversation with the strength flip for the defense. But the secondary, the corners were the strongest position group going into this offseason on the defense. Nobody would argue that. And Jordan Battle was an exciting player in college and when the Bengals drafted him, and hasn't been surrounded by a lot of help on the secondary. We talk a lot about Geno Stone. Obviously, the corners took a big step last year, but that's not the corner duo that he's been playing with for the majority of his career. And he struggled at times, but he's also been a big play maker, and I think having a more consistent option next to him in that safety room and the corners continuing to take another step, Battle's a player I'm really, really excited for this season.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see how him and Bryan Cook complement one another too, and really hoping that Cook can come in and help Jordan Battle in different areas in different ways, kind of like you were just mentioning. But what a world, guys, if we're talking about this secondary being as big of a strength as what we're expecting this defensive line to be. If the Bengals have strengths in both of those positions, top 10 defense? I mean, think about it that way.
Yes.
This would have to be one of the best defenses in the league then.
Let's just put it like this. If Bryan Cook is the best player in the secondary, he's probably a Pro Bowler this year. DJ Turner, you expect him to be Pro Bowler. Daxell, expect to be really good. Dexter Lawrence, Pro Bowler. So that's at least 3 Pro Bowlers on defense.
When's
know they got
the
three
last
on
time they had
offense.
3 Pro Bowlers?
What a
on
world. 2015?
Gino Dunlap Pac-Man.
I think Pac-Man
He was
a
return
returner.
specialist, but
Yeah,
corner.
but he mattered. Yeah, he mattered. Yeah, because Reeder was never a Pro Bowler.
No.
Bates wasn't a Pro Bowler. And so
That's
Wow.
the one that I still just. Come on, man.
that got in the way of contract stuff, too.
Yeah.
The Pro Bowl. No Pro Bowls.
Yeah. No Pro Bowl's just the best safety in football.
He's so good.
So good.
Guess what? Maybe Brian's going to be that good.